Early people believed that they got ill because evil spirits were inside them. Many people had amulets, things that people think are lucky. They hoped that their amulets would stop them being ill. People cared for each other when they were ill. A shaman was a man or woman who sang songs, danced, and did magic spells to make people well. Many people believe that these magic spells worked. In some places today, people visit a shaman for help when they are ill. When early people tasted plants to test which ones were safe to eat, they also discovered plants that cured illness and fever. These plants were the first medicines. One of the oldest books about medicines made from plants was written in China more than 4,000 years ago. Most early medicines were made from parts of plants, like flowers. People ate the plant parts, or they made them into drinks. Sometimes they made the plant parts into lotions to put on their body. Today, many people use medicines made from plants. For example, people use lotions made from aloe vera plants to make sore skin feel better.
Some of the biggest structures are dams. They hold back water and make a lake called a reservoir. Dams supply water, stop floods, and they also make electricity. Gravity dams are made of a lot of concrete. They are very big and heavy, and this weight holds back the water. The Itaipu Dam is a gravity dam. It's in South America, between Paraguay and Brazil. It's 196 meters tall and nearly 8 kilometers long. The first dam was built more than 4,000 years ago in Egypt. It never worked because it fell down in heavy rain.
There is another place in our solar system where some of these things exist. It's a moon of the planet Jupiter called Europa. Its conditions could be suitable for humans. Europa's atmosphere is made up of mostly oxygen. Scientists also believe Europa's surface has water. Of course, it's not perfect. The highest temperature on Europa is minus 160 degrees Celsius. No human can survive that. There are other problems too, but a space colony may allow us to survive there. Scientists are studying Europa. They want to find out if there's life there. They want to learn if humans.
Today, water covers about 70% of our planet. Billions of years ago, Earth's surface was dry and nothing lived here. Earth's atmosphere was also different. It had lots of carbon dioxide and other gases, but no oxygen. At first, there wasn't any liquid water on Earth's surface, but there was lots of water vapor in the atmosphere. This water vapor came from inside the planet when volcanoes erupted. When Earth cooled down, the water vapor condensed and formed clouds in the sky. Then it started to rain. After millions of years, liquid water covered most of our planet's surface.
The first point I'd like to address is when not to use your phone. It's polite to switch off your phone or turn off the sound when you're in class or in a meeting. If you get an important call, you should ask for permission to leave the room, and then don't talk for too long. Furthermore, for conversations that need more time, it is best to ask the person to call back at a more convenient time. Cell phones can also cause you to neglect the people you are with. I find it really annoying when my friends constantly check their messages on their phone. In fact, I want to tell them to turn off the cell phone and enjoy my company. Another point that needs to be made has to do with personal space. I think it is very impolite to make calls in small spaces or crowded rooms. This makes others uncomfortable and forces them to listen to your personal conversations. Additionally, it disturbs other face-to-face conversations. That's why I never use my cell phone within a few meters of other people, except in emergencies. Lastly, I would like readers to pay attention to the dangers of using your phone while doing something else. For instance, driving and texting is a bad combination. Likewise, using your phone or texting when walking can make you careless. You don't want to get hit by a car. Pay attention to where you're going.
All around the world, people like to read books, newspapers, magazines, and comic books. In Japan, reading manga is a really popular free time activity. Manga is a type of comic book. In manga, there are words and pictures to tell a story or give information. There are lots of different types of manga. For example, adventure, mystery, science fiction, and comedy. There is manga for all ages. You can find manga on the internet too. There are also manga computer games and manga cartoons on television. There are even manga cafes where you can look at manga on the internet or read manga books and magazines. Manga started in Japan, but it's now popular in many countries. Some libraries in the USA have manga reading groups.
In some countries, one person can make about 5 kilograms of waste every day. Where does all this waste go? Most waste goes to a landfill. At a landfill, people put the waste under the ground. Landfills are very big because we make so much waste. Most waste materials decompose. They break down into very small pieces. Food waste decomposes fast, but some waste materials decompose slowly. Paper materials take from 2 to 5 months to decompose. Some metal materials take from 80 to 100 years, and plastic materials take maybe up to 1,000 years. Some materials, like glass, never decompose. We are making more and more waste. We need more landfills, but there's no more land on Earth for landfills. Our waste stays in landfills for too long, and this is bad for Earth. So we should make less waste. We should recycle more things. Around the world, people make up to 4 billion metric tons of waste every year.
Did you know that tea is one of the most popular drinks today? There are many kinds of tastes and colors. The drinking of tea plays different roles in cultures around the world. In some countries, it has become an important social activity, while in others, it has become a tradition. Let's go and explore the world of tea. The beginnings. The legend of tea began about 4,700 years ago in China. Emperor Shen Nong was traveling to a distant area of China. While he was waiting for his water to boil, a leaf from a wild tea bush fell into it. The leaf turned the water brown, but the emperor still drank it. It tasted good, and the idea of drinking tea began. Tea on the move. China was the first major producer of tea. In the 8th century, monks took seeds of the tea plant to Japan. There, the growing and drinking of tea became popular. In the 16th century, traders and missionaries who had traveled to Asia took tea back to Europe. Holland was the first European country to develop a taste for tea. Next, people in France and Germany began to drink it. However, in the 17th century, tea became very popular when it reached England. At first, tea was a drink for the rich, but as it became cheaper, it was enjoyed by all.
In 1853, George Crumb was a cook in a restaurant in Saratoga Springs in New York. One day, a customer said he didn't like George's French fries. He said they were too thick. So George played a joke on the customer. He made some French fries that were very thin, like paper. The customer loved them. Soon all of George's customers wanted thin French fries. George called them Saratoga chips. In 1860, George opened a new restaurant and his thin chips became famous all over the USA. Today, potato chips are one of the most popular snacks in the world. In the United Kingdom, French fries are called chips, and potato chips are called crisps.